It was a good idea to take this bike because it being built up as a road bike means it's a little bit faster, a little bit lighter than a touring bike, and you really notice that during the trip, especially on the hills and stuff. The bike packing luggage worked out really well because of the way that it's attached to the bike. You don't have the kind of low centre of gravity that you do on a touring bike, and most of the time you didn't even notice it was there. So it was a really pleasant way to do a short tour. Yeah, so this was the thing that carried most of the luggage that I took with me. This was where all my clothes were in this dry bag. It was really important when you were packing, I found out, to make sure that you pack it really tight, make it really compact, and that way it will stay sturdy and firm at the back. On one day I had a little bit of problem with swaying, but that was all to do with how it was packed. So that was an important lesson learned. These things I've used before. That thankfully wasn't needed too much because I didn't have any mechanicals. Unfortunately, others in our party did. This thing I know is just the right size and shape to fit a wallet and a phone in, so that's really handy for just hopping off into shops and what have you. This thing is really good for, you know, even on your bike you can pull this up with one hand, get in there, grab a bite to eat just to keep you fueled. Another thing we didn't talk about last time was this lock that I've just started taking on bike tours. It's an Arbus Bordeaux lock that folds out like this, and it's a nice happy medium between the security of a metal D-lock but the flexibility of a cable lock. So you know, you can bend it around stuff a lot easier than you can a D-lock, and it's designed for kind of medium level security scenarios, which is essentially covers a lot of the rural areas that you are likely to be staying at on bike tours. We came back from Llandudno and I managed to clock up at about 106 miles. I was actually quite comfortable with this setup. It would have been a lot harder and a lot slower on a touring bike with panniers and racks and all the extra weight. One thing that I didn't take this time, because of the weather forecast, was sun cream. So I have very fair skin, I normally take sun cream everywhere, but the weather forecast was so foul, it didn't look like there would be any sun at all. As it happened, we had about 2 days of brilliant sunshine, and I did end up with a little bit of sunburn. So that's one lesson learned. No matter what the forecast says, always be prepared with that. In terms of the clothes that I took, it was about the right amount. Yeah, it did all get used. That's one thing that people commented on the first video. Was I not taking any waterproofs? Of course I was. I ended up taking a more sturdy kind of overcoat and also a race cape, like a small light waterproof as well. Just because the weather forecast looked like, you know, if you get wet on the bike, it's always it's always best to have something completely fresh to change into. The thin trousers I took were just right because, you know, they didn't take up much space or weight in the bag. A couple of t-shirts and the cycling layers that I took, thankfully, was just spot on for the weather. Base layers, over jersey, and a regular cycling jersey. In terms of the two technical devices we looked at last time, the Mio Cyclo is used really to, yeah, it sits in there. It's used for measuring distance and speed and that kind of thing, just general metrics. Battery life is a little bit hit and miss on it, so that's why I always have a portable lipstick charger for that one. The Beeline I also used once for navigation in Llandudno to find the hotel, and that was fine. What I would do is I'd get better mud guards on this bike, and they only cover like the bare essential, so they stop you getting sprayed here. The rear one stops there, so it stops this bit getting sprayed, but you get a lot of spray coming through on there, so I think longer mud guards is a good idea. Apart from that, possibly better tyres. These are road tyres. Maybe it needs something a little bit more sturdy. Most of the terrain was on roads. Some of it was a little gravelly, but there were no punctures in the party, although we had a couple of broken spokes, we had a broken chain, we had a minor crash. So we found a place near Beaumaris in Anglesey, Anglesey Bike Repairs, I think the name is. Absolutely top repair shop if you ever need anything around there. The guy is a brilliant mechanic. He's very fastidious, very tidy, very thorough, and very reasonably priced. We needed to fix some broken spokes on a skewer after this little crash, and he did so, cheerily and efficiently. So.